Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be spending some time on the California Instruments Asterion AST6003 6 kilowatt programmable power source. We'll start the video by going over a little bit about the AST6003. Then we'll move to the different connections on the front and the back of the unit. And then finally, we'll get the unit started up and we'll modify some different criteria using the software. The Asterion AST6003 is a programmable AC and DC source providing 6 kilowatts of power and has a variety of different configurations available. During today's video, we'll be using model number AST6003 A1C-E341A1A. The breakout of all the different options and the associated model numbers can be seen on the datasheet on page 20. I'll put a link for that in the description below. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the front of the unit. Here you'll find the front of the Asterion AST6003. Let's go ahead now and let's start from the left side of the unit and let's work our way right. In the lower left hand corner we have the off-on switch. Working our way right, on the left side of the display we have a series of LEDs. For additional information on the purpose behind each LED indicator, please go ahead and check the user manual on page 68, and again, I'll put a link for that in the description below. To the right of those LEDs, we have our touchscreen display, and next to that, we have our rotary encoder. Just below that, we have our output LED. Let's go ahead now, let's get the unit turned around and take a look at the back side of the power supply. Alright, here's the back of the AST6003. Let's go ahead and let's start from the upper left hand corner again and let's work our way right. First, you will notice in the upper left hand corner we have a series of connectors. The first four are the command monitor and trigger output connectors, and the final two are the clock and lock. Just below that we have our auxiliary and master connections, as well as the external connections and relay. All the way in the lower left hand corner we have the USB, RS-232, and Ethernet connections. Working our way right towards the center of the unit we have our remote sense connection. Just to the right of that, also in green, we have our output connection. Finally, working our way all the way right to the lower right hand corner we have our AC input. Now let's go ahead and let's get the system operational and take a brief look at the software. Here is the California Instruments virtual panel. Along the top we have a series of blue buttons. The first four of the buttons are settings related. The next 6 of the buttons are for waveform generation. Following that we have 3 that relate to measurement and analysis. And then finally, our last grouping is going to be for IEC and avionics tests. Looking just below those, starting on the left side, we have some information about our source. You can see right there, we have the AST6003 A1C. And then just below that, the serial number. To the right of that, we have our mode indicator and hardware interface. You can see right now, we are in live mode and we are communicating through COM6. To the right of that, we have our steady state settings and our disconnect button, which disconnects the source from the software. Finally, all the way on the right, we have 3 buttons: restore to default, help, and about. Taking a look at the main section of the screen now, we have a larger section on the left with our steady state and device interface tabs, and then on the right we have our bus monitor. These 2 tabs will be open on the left and they can't be hidden as you can hide other tabs. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at our device interface tab. Let's go ahead And let's start with taking a look at the Select Communication Interface box. You can see right now we're using USB and we are on COM port number 6. If you do want to change the COM port or change some of the different criteria there, all you have to do is go to the top of the screen, hit disconnect, and then go down, and now you can change this. If you want to change to COM port 5, then hit connect. And then you can see right now we are getting an error because we do have it configured for COM port 6. Let's go ahead and let's just change that back to COM port 6 quick. Right, very good. All right, perfect. You can see that up there in the top portion is back to live mode. All right, that should complete the video today on the California Instruments Asterion 6003. We began the video by walking through a little bit about the unit, then we spent some time on the connections on the front and the back, and then finally we took a brief look at the virtual panel. We hope this video has been useful, and please keep us in mind if you ever need to rent the California Instruments Asterion AST 6003.